Hello, beautiful people. Thank you so much for tuning in, watching, and listening. This is going to be the January 2023 reading for the zodiac sign of Scorpio. As always, my readings are very intuitive, so I'll provide you with any intuitive messages that I receive, as well as the meaning of the tarot cards. I do recommend you check out your sun, moon, and rising just to get a full picture of everything that's going on for you this month. Also, I did post the full year 2023 videos, so if you haven't checked those out yet, you should do that as well. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do subscribe. That helps me greatly, and you'll be notified when I post new content. But let's go ahead and jump in and get started. In column number 1, we're going to take a look at what's wrapping up and coming to a close, so last few weeks or month. Column number 2, we're going to take a general look at what's coming for January. We're also going to do a money column, a love column, and the 5th and final column, we're going to do a message from our future self or spirit guides. We'll also do 3 yes or no questions, a crystal of the month, and a healing note for you. But again, column number 1, what's wrapping up and coming to a close. We have the card Heat, and I like the Heat card because it means things have been moving. So when there's movement, there's friction, there's heat. So heat, in short, just means that things were moving for you, Scorpio. So progress, movement for you these last few weeks or month. But let's see what other cards are coming through here. The first card that we have is the Hangman. Sometimes the Hangman can be stagnant energy, so I like to see the Heat card because perhaps you were stuck and things didn't seem to be moving forward, but in the last few weeks they should have gotten moving for you with the Heat card. The Hanged Man is also like a card of wisdom and gaining perspective, gaining knowledge. So although you could have felt like you were stuck there hanging upside down by your foot, in reality, you are gaining knowledge, you are gaining perspective, you are gaining wisdom. Moving on to our Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles is very resourceful. I love the Queen of Pentacles because this is about being resourceful with the resources that we have. I do think you've been spending money appropriately. You've been spending energy and time appropriately. Again, this is about putting our resources in the correct place. With the Queen of Pentacles, this is also a card, a very domestic card, so a great card for relationships and also a card of fertility. And at the bottom here we have the Emperor. The Emperor is a very long-term card. This is also a card of respect and leadership. Perhaps you have been leading yourself through something, or somebody has been looking to you to guide them or lead them through an event. But very respectful, very leader-like. It's also very future-focused. So it's like the moves you've been making is really setting yourself up for the future. The Emperor includes kind of that long-term success. Well, let's clarify and see what other messages we've got going on here. Ooh, almost dropped that whole deck of cards. Jeez. Okay, the first clarifier, Scorpio, we have is the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords, if you take a look at this card, both the horse and rider are moving very quickly here. It indicates very fast-paced, quick change. So I like to see this. Things are moving, shaking. Again, they could have gone from stagnant to then moving very quickly. So lots and lots of movement, lots and lots of growth with the Knight of Swords. The next card that we have is the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords is a card of self-imposed restrictions. It could be limiting ourselves. If you take a look at this card, the person's eyes are blindfolded, their arms are bound down, but all of these swords are stuck in the background. So this person can very easily wiggle back and cut themselves free. I think at one point in time, potentially you were not putting your resources in the appropriate place, but it seems like you have course corrected and you're doing so now, Scorpio. With the Queen of Pentacles, again, that was saying that we're being resourceful with our resources. And then at the bottom here, we have the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is a card of keeping and maintaining boundaries. It's also a card of being persistent, and persistence seemed to be key here. We need to keep pushing forward. We need to keep leading ourselves forward to accomplish the things that we want in life, to get to where we want to go in life. So keep that in mind. Keep pushing forward here, Scorpio. Persistence being key. You want to keep this heat, this momentum, this forward motion. Okay, let's take a look at our next column now, which is just general, what's coming for January. We have the card Repetition. This is an interesting card because it can go one of two ways, and only you, Scorpio, are going to know which direction this needs to go. But with repetition, sometimes it ties really nicely to what we were just talking about with persistence, and I think that probably will be the message for the majority of you. We need to keep pushing forward. We need to keep staying consistent. We need to keep doing the repetition to keep chipping away. So that consistency being really important. The other meaning to this card, though, is sometimes you need to change it up. Sometimes the repetition is tiring and doesn't feel good. You can see this kind of exhausted, stressed, strained face in the top corner. So sometimes repetition can also really wear us down and break us down. So again, Scorpio, you'll have to navigate which scenario that is for you. But let's go ahead and take a look at what messages we've got for this column. First up, we have the Ten of Cups. For those of you who've watched my videos before, you know the Ten of Cups is my favorite card in the entire deck. We have a nice full rainbow, a happy couple, kids playing, the grass is green, the water's running, there's a house in the background. The Ten of Cups is seriously the card of everything wonderful, and that's why I love it. It's family, it's contentment, it's total love and support, especially contentment. I used to think contentment wasn't that good, and now as I've gotten older, I realize how hard it is to be content, so that's why I enjoy it so much. But I like this. This is like, again, everything you want going into the new year and the new month. So I like to see this energy. Great indicator for relationship, children, buying a house. But this is just love, support, happiness, contentment. So keep working towards, keep up the repetition to work towards everything that you're hoping to accomplish there. The next card that we have is the High Priestess. This is a card of being very spiritual, a card of being very intuitive. Scorpio, when I see this, it's like I know the person I am talking with is intuitive or spiritual or psychic. So keep that in mind. Again, trusting your intuition, trusting yourself, trusting your intuition. This can also be a card of like secrets or mystery or like trying to find out information. So there could be more information that you need this month too. Just be aware of that. But again, more than anything, it's about trusting your gut, trusting your intuition there. The next card that we have is the Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups is a card with lots and lots of different things going on. Oftentimes when I see the Seven of Cups, it indicates that things are going to be busy and fast moving here. There's something different in each cup. With the Seven of Cups, this is also a card potentially of having commitment issues. There's so many different things going on, so many different options that it can make us a little non-committal. So in addition to being busy, do make sure that we're clear on what we want and make sure that we're doing the right repetitive or even really in general the right actions to accomplish what we want. However, it does seem like we're on track, we're on course here. The first clarifier we have is the Star card. The Star card is a card of renewal, hope, inner clarity. I like to see this because I do think there's potentially something like we're missing information on and you're like going to have that aha moment and get the clarity that you need. Pairs so nicely with the Ten of Cups too, is like you're really on track to being the Ten of Cups and accomplishing the Ten of Cups and all the things that you want. So nice pairing between the two. There could also be some recognition coming for you as well with the big star spotlight at the top there. The next card that we have is the Three of Swords. The Three of Swords is a card of heartbreak, divorce, loss, depression, surgery, kind of lower feelings in general. Whatever this is that we are not aware of or potentially finding out the news could hurt our feelings. So just be aware maybe what you do find out is not exactly what you were hoping to find out. The Three of Swords, though, is an indicator of needing to heal, so keep that in mind. This could potentially be something that needs to be healed from. Feelings need to be processed for it. And at the bottom here we have the Judgment card. The Judgment card is clarity, so again that's finding out the information that was missing. The Judgment card though is always favorable for you, so do keep that in mind. Even if it's maybe not the news you wanted to hear, it's still at the end of the day going to be favorable for you. It's also going to be favorable for you to be committed to the cause, be committed to the repetition to accomplish the things that you want. Again, moving yourself to that Ten of Cups type energy. Okay, now let's take a look at our next column, which is anything related to money. I got this deck of cards, which is like money messages. In this case, it's a money affirmation, Scorpio. It says, I spend my money wisely. Let's see what messages we have coming through here. Is anything related to money, job, career, finances, businesses you run, investments you have, whatever you associate with money, Scorpio. The first card that we have here is the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords is a card of needing to rest, retreat, renew, recover. I do feel like some of you are burnt out with your job right now. So just know that. And when we get to that point, we need to figure out how we can break that up, how we can move on from that energy. Perhaps some of you do need to take a little bit of time off in January from your job. But it's like the energies are low and we need to figure out how to change our energies around the job. Perhaps that's applying for new jobs. That's talking about something that's been bothering us. Perhaps we transfer jobs or switch projects or switch shifts. Take time off. Again, we need to rest, retreat, renew, recover. There's something that kind of has the low feelings. The next card really echoes that with the Ten of Swords. This is feeling like you're in a low place. This is like you see the dark sky, the person laying down flat with all the swords stuck into them. It's kind of like feeling like you're in a low place. It's not really happy. These aren't really happy work energy vibes, so we need to, again, course correct and figure out how we can adjust that. At the bottom, we have the Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles is a card of leaving a legacy. You need to be thinking about what you want long-term, Scorpio, and I don't know that this is doing it for you, so keep that in mind. This is also a card of inheritance or a lump sum of money, so perhaps that is your way out of this situation that you don't love currently. This is also a card of retirement, so some of you could be retiring. That makes sense why we would be so tired and burnt out going into the end of it, so congratulations to those of you that are getting ready to retire. Let's see what else I can give you here though. The first clarifier we have is the Hierophant. The Hierophant is a card of tradition. It's conventional, it's conformity. I feel like you've been put into a box and you're not really allowed to think out of the box or work out of the box. This is like too mundane or too repetitive for you. Perhaps that's why that repetition card is coming in there. It just feels stuck and it doesn't feel good. You need to take a creative approach. You need to take an unconventional approach. Also be really focused on what you want and less worried about exactly how you're going to get there. That's a message I'm getting there, Scorpio. The next card that we have is the Six of Pentacles. The Six of Pentacles is a very generous card. It's a card of giving or receiving help. I do see you getting whatever you need. Time off, more money, a new project. I see you receiving whatever you need to course correct here with the Ten of Swords. So I actually really like that energy coming through there. So don't be down. Don't worry. I know it's kind of low energy at this point, but it is going to shake up there for you. Then at the bottom, these two cards wanted to come out together. We have the Moon card. The Moon card is a card of change, which I like to see because we want to see a change and shift in this energy that's not feeling the best. Again, that retirement, of course, would be a change for you. The Moon card is also about trusting your intuition, so use your intuition to navigate the situation. We have the Ten of Cups again, which we talked about the Ten of Cups earlier, my favorite card in the entire deck. A card of total love, support, family, contentment, all things wonderful. So really good indicator. Things are shifting and you're going to go from a scenario where you're not really loving it, I think, to really truly being happy and content here, Scorpio. So talk about that come up in terms of money. Let's take a look at our next column, which is anything related to love. We have a love message that says, beware of what you are projecting, for the qualities you admire in another are qualities you both possess. Equally so, the qualities you don't like are also your own reflection. In this column, we're going to talk about anything related to love, family, friends, relationship, children, marriage, whatever you associate with love. The first card here we have is the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is very self-sufficient, very honest. Communicate your needs. That's the one message I always get when I see this card. Whatever you feel like you need in terms of love, however you're feeling, make sure you're communicating it, Scorpio. Sometimes we even communicate it for ourselves, like for those of you that are into manifesting, you know, like speaking it into existence. So this could be communication with family, friends, loved ones, but this could be communicating and verbalizing it for yourself. The next card that we have is the Moon card. The Moon card is a card of trusting your intuition. And again, it indicates change. We were just talking about the Moon card here at the bottom. So trust your intuition, but I do see some changes coming to love and favorable changes for you, of course, but it's like changes for the better. It's hard to define because I think those changes are going to be different for all of you, Scorpio, but I do see some changes coming. And at the bottom here, we have the Hermit. The Hermit is always about going within for clarity. It's about being on your own personal quest, your own spiritual illumination, doing things that feel good for you, Scorpio. So make sure you're like checking in with yourself. What do you like? What do you not like? What do you want? And again, that's going to tie into communication, speaking it into existence, asking for what you need, speaking about how you feel. But with the Hermit, we have to make sure we're clear on what we want and how we feel. The first clarifier in this column is the Sun card. I feel like we talked about the Sun card earlier. In terms of good cards, though, it doesn't get much better than the Sun card. So I love to see this coming up. The Sun card is a card of material happiness, joyous outcomes, success. We're entering into a really happy, healthy relationship period. This could be single, this could be in a relationship, this could be an advancement of relationship. This could be a new relationship, but it's like we're really, truly, genuinely happy, and this indicates success. Again, if you want to be single, this is success single. If you want to be in a relationship, this is relationship success. So I really like this. Communication is going to take you good places, so keep that communication top of mind. The next card that we have is the Seven of Pentacles. The Seven of Pentacles is a card of delayed success. It can be an indicator of waiting. What I'm getting, though, is like, I don't know that you need to wait to trust your intuition. It's like, you know what's happening. You know what changes need to be made. This is more like saying don't wait versus there will be waiting, Scorpio. Again, these changes in this whole month is going to lead like immediately to happiness. So now is the time. At the bottom here, we have the King of Cups. The King of Cups is very supportive, very tolerant, very empathetic. It's like you're not going to like dream up anything that's not supported by your partner, which I like. So again, ask for what you need, you shall receive. I think your partner will be really on board, have similar thoughts, similar expectations. I just see them being supportive, being tolerant, being empathetic. So really great signs and indicators of a wonderful relationship there, Scorpio. Now moving on to our fifth and final column, this is a message from our future self or spirit guides. We have the card Dependability. And dependability is pretty literal. I do think somebody is going to be counting on you for something this month, so do just keep that in mind. If you say you're going to do something, make sure you deliver on it, that you stay committed to it. The first card we have here is the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is very free-spirited, it's very creative. When I see this card, it like screams freedom. I feel like this is just like the new year in general. You're really feeling a sense of renewal. You're feeling a sense of freedom with the Knight of Wands, which I like. Keep creative. The next card that we have is the Sun card. In terms of good card in the tarot deck, it really doesn't get much better than the Sun card. This is material happiness, joyous outcomes, success. Again, we're on a good path here. This feels good. It doesn't get much better than the Sun card. At the bottom here, we have the Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles are your desires. And this is like you moving towards your desires. You need to, again, stay committed. But this is like a new sense of freedom and a new sense of creativity and a new sense of happiness. All of these things carrying you forward to your desires here. Looking at clarifiers, first up we have the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles is very solid, very practical, very wise. Have a plan and execute on the plan. Be free, be creative, but at the end of the day, be solid, practical, wise. Ties really nice into being dependable too, being consistent, being persistent. The next card we have is the Eight of Cups. I like the Eight of Cups. You see the Eight of Cups here stacked nice, but yet the person in the background is still walking away. This is like going from good to better. So this is being happy to being even more happy, to being more fulfilled, to being more successful. This is a really nice journey here, Scorpio. And at the bottom here, we have the Five of the Five of Wands. This is interesting because this typically has different meanings, but what I'm hearing with the Five of Wands is like somewhere in the mix of all the things that you're doing, make sure there's some physical activity too. That's such a weird message, Scorpio, but I'm throwing it out there. It's what you need. It's like a missing piece to the desires too. So of all things you need to prioritize and focus on, make sure there's some physical movement happening for you too. Okay, at this time I'm going to give you the opportunity to ask 3 yes or no questions. We're going to use our Gypsy Witch fortune telling deck. If you don't have 3 questions in mind, you can pause the video here and think of them really quick. But question number 1 is the Five of Hearts. This is number 2 card. That's going to be a yes. Question number 2 is the Five of Clubs. This is number 33 card. That's going to be a yes. And question number 3 is the King of Spades. This is number 47 card. That's also going to be a yes. So yeses across the board there for you, Scorpio. We're going to pull a card from our Healing Stones deck, which is a crystal to keep with you throughout the month of January. You have Rock Crystal, which is clear quartz. It's good for clarity, purity, energy, helps you do things in your own time, in your own way. Really good for aim in life as well. And last but not least, we're going to pull a card from our Healing Notes deck. Your Healing Note says, what we have once enjoyed, we can never lose. All that we love deeply becomes part of us. Thank you so much, Scorpio, for tuning in, watching, and listening. Please do like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how this video resonates with you. Again, subscriptions help me greatly, and you'll be notified when I post new content. I did also include my Venmo in the comments box if you'd like to make a donation. Thank you so much, Scorpio, and I hope you have the best January.